I'm here with Tania Raeannon, who is a counsellor and facilitator from Heart Genesis. Welcome, Tania.
Thank you.
I feel really excited to talk to you and get to know you more.
I feel super excited to be here.
One of the first introductions I had to you was going to your beautiful event, Spoken Heart. And I was wondering if you'd be willing to share a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, Spoken Heart, it was this idea, it had been brewing for a couple of years. And then I watched a movie of Martin Luther King, and I just saw this man just speak from his heart and from his mind. And I just saw, I don't know, there was just something about how he was saying all the things that everyone already knew, you know, like everyone already knew that, or not everyone, but a lot of people knew that apartheid was a problem and you know, that it needed to be changed. But he spoke from his heart, and he spoke from his being, and he spoke with his mind, and everybody in that room knew that something was changing. And I was just like, I want that now. Like, I want that. I want us to remind each other of the deep inner things that we are here to achieve, that we will not let pass over us without doing them, you know. And so that, and then the vision kind of, and then I kind of discovered what it was like. You know, then I found 5 people who were excited by a similar vision, and we just got together in our living room, and we just instead of deciding how the structure was going to be, we just sat down together and just made it about, I had a vague idea, but it kind of emerged, you know. And so in some ways it's nothing more than a sharing circle, but in reality I think it's the intention or the energy of something that creates it, and it really is about seeing each person who, it's about 2 kind of things. One is, it's about before we speak, and I need to drop into doing that now too, you know, before we speak, listening to that heart voice, the heart within us, and listening, you know, like when does it start pounding, which, you know, because there's something in there that wants to burst out, like when does it start getting excited because there's a truth that it knows, you know, will release or will change things, you know. And so it's about listening to that. And then it's also about, you know, like, let's drop everything for that in our brothers and sisters, you know, like, let's drop everything to listen for the beauty and to see each other with that gorgeous acceptance that we would see, that a mother would see her child with, you know, like loving every step, you know, let's see that. And so it's just about creating a space for like that to come forth. Yeah.
So special.
Hey.
Yeah. I've also been kind of following you on Facebook and noticing how much you're putting out, and like of workshops and just the creation process. And yeah, I've been really inspired by your, like, it seems like there's this passion, there's something like really alight in you. And I was wondering if you could speak on that, because I'm curious about what that fire is.
Oh, you know what, I think everything somehow was born out of the love for my son. Wow. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, like, something was so powerful around that time when I had him, and I was changing so much at the time, but there was just like, I learnt to love more than I ever loved myself, and it was just like, I'd fucking do anything for you, you know, like, birthed in me this kind of fervent devotion that just birthed in me this fervent devotion to whatever I needed to do in order to create a safe passage, whatever I needed to do in order to manage, you know, the challenges. You know, there was some conflicts at the time with my ex. It just became stronger and stronger, and it's like I always had that love in me or that desire, but I'd never, like desire for what I would have liked as a child. Not that I had a bad childhood, I had a great childhood, but it just made it so much stronger of like, because I love this boy, I'm willing to change the world, you know, because I love this boy, I'm willing to do anything, you know. It's like, you know, and because I discovered how much I could love Ben, it's like, well, it's not just about Ben. Like, Ben is one of, and I have a beautiful boy, Bo, as well now, my stepson, you know, who is adorable, you know, and so it's like it birthed with Ben, and then it became this thing of like, let every child feel heard in their beauty, you know, every child, and not just the new little kids coming through, but the inner children in all of the adults around us. Let them feel heard in the thing, you know, in the creativity, in the play, in the thing that they're here to give, to let them drop, you know, just drop their all the things that they're carrying, all the shit, you know, the difficulty that they're carrying, and just go, okay, now I'm heard, which is a kind of, again, what spoken heart is as well. It's like, I have this image of like, and I don't necessarily, you know, ascribe to any religion, but if at the end of life, you know, we were to come into a place where there were all of the angels and all of our friends, and if at the end of life we were to come into that place, what would that be like? You know, like would that not be hilarious? Like, would we not come to each other and say, oh my God, like I went through so much crap. You wouldn't believe the story that I went through in my life. And would we not embrace each other? And would we not laugh about all this ridiculousness? And would we not like just go, oh, you experienced that? Like, oh my God, let me hold you. Let me hold that, you know? And would we not, you know, just totally, like, because there would be no barriers anymore. So we would just totally be there for each other. And it's like, that's what I feel like we get to sometimes at Spoken Heart, you know? Sometimes when it really, really clicks in, and one time in particular, it felt like one of the guys was joking, you know, he was like, imagine if we had no difficulty in our life, we'd have nothing to talk about here. And it was just like this feeling of like the joy of kind of going, cut, you know, like, hold on, let's just say pause to life, and now what's going on, like, you know, and in your drama, like, what's going on in your drama, oh, let's actually connect in that pause.
You spoke of the tremendous love for Ben that sparked some of this, like, desire to change the world in some way, and it made me wonder, like, what world you want to see for Ben.
I've got a painting of it on my kitchen wall. I made a painting of two worlds, and it's, you know, it's got one world and then it's, I don't know which way to do it, and another world, and I can't get over this world right now, you know, like I just walk around trying to do the maths, you know, like. And like I bought this thing of body wash the other day, and it said it had 16,000 leaves of mint and tea tree in it. And I'm like, if I was to grow 16,000 leaves of mint and tea tree, that would take up my entire garden. And I spent $6 on this, you know. Or I bought beef jerky, and it said it was $2.50, and it said each slice of the beef jerky was hand cut. And how does the maths make sense? And this bag of beef jerky, the plastic, will last for I don't know how many, like a couple of hundred of years, and so it feels like there is this. I can't get over what this world is right now, and I see on a linear trajectory. I see, wow, this is ridiculous. This is impossible. Like we cannot continue like this. And so my painting is like I've taken the world map and I've filled one in with like I used like a rubbish bottle and various things to make the shape of the world map on one of them, you know, and symbols of that. And then on the other one, I took the world map and I painted like a tree in the shape of America and you know, like tropical plants. And I feel like it's this image that kind of says, this is why I do it, you know, like for Ben, you know, or not for Ben anymore, it's for all children. It's like if any responsible mother were to leave this world, she would fucking do something, and she'd fucking do it right now, you know? Like, if any responsible mother were to leave this world, she would go, well, what does a rational human being do at this time, in this day, at this point in the human trajectory? And for me, right now, my answer is, what do you call it? Entrepreneurialism, but heart-centered entrepreneurialism. It's like, and I've forgotten the question, but it's like embodying that change. It's like feeling in my heart and then acting, you know, and then acting. Yeah. You know, I see like one entrepreneur and another entrepreneur, and then there's a final straw of I see like, you know, that one, and I'm like, okay, it's happening, you know. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. A blossoming of heart-centered entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you see that in your circle of friends?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like everyone is like, I relate everything to nature. I think nature is the ultimate entrepreneur. And I think that everyone is you know, is like a growing, like I can liken to a plant, you know, like some people are germinating, you know, it's like they're needing to be inner, they're needing to collect resources to transform, you know, whatever experiences they had in childhood. And some people are buds, they're like, I know that there's something, you know, I know, and some people are just fully like, let me pop out now, let me blossom. But to say that one, you know, there's somehow in this society, there's this idea that you're better because you're doing this, and you're better because you're doing that, and it's about as ridiculous as saying that the first carrot which pops out of the veggie garden is better than the last one. It's like, what kind of a thought process is that? You know, it's like, so I think, yes, everybody is that. And I think it's like a forest grows, not like the business we've been doing for decades, linear. You think, you know, you conceptualize a skyscraper, and then over 3 months it linearly gets built. It's like a forest. It grows from all angles all the time. You can't see it grow because it grows so slowly, but because it's growing from every leaf all the time, it just takes over the world. Well, it will the moment we stop mowing the lawns. Anyway.
I love that. Yeah, and that's like such a good metaphor for our domestication or our kind of fitting ourselves into civilization as it is. It's like mowing our lawns.
Yeah, we're all just always mowing, like mowing everything, keeping it in shape, and it's so much work to keep everything so linear. And it's just like little bits of organicness, you know? Yeah.
That really works for me, that metaphor.
Yeah.
Like growing wild and like, the freedom of not being contained in something. Yeah, the use of nature as teacher. Going back to that.
Yeah. Can I just say, it is so lovely to have like, I don't know, like half an hour to like, it's such a, I don't know, to have someone be interested in me, first of all. But like, you know, like really go, like, what are you wanting to create in the world? That's the coolest experience.
It's so wonderful. And I feel like how amazing, because that's what you offer people through your spoken heart as well. Like this is just time to share from the heart. And it's like, oh, it is medicine. Yeah. So beautiful. And I'd love to ask you, Tania, what makes you come alive?
What makes me come alive? What makes me come alive? Lots of different things, but right just then what makes me come alive is doing little things which help other people come alive. Like I'm a mum and a nurturer so much, you know, like and I get really excited when I see people take the little steps to bring their soul alive. Yeah. And so, like, I've started another little group called Birthing Your Passion for Introverts.
What's it called, sorry?
Birthing Your Passion for Introverts.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And it's about dreaming in, and so it's like an 8-session series, and we dream into like our blueprint, our soul passion, you know, what we get really, really excited about. But then it's also about encouraging each other in taking the little practical steps to just starting, you know, like starting to live that a little bit more and a little bit more. And it's also about creating the safety that we need to feel comfortable to be ourselves. And for me, in my life, the thing that really changed everything was secure attachment, was amazing connection and amazing relationship, and I think you guys have got that as well. So, you know, I think that the moment, and it may be particularly for introverts, but probably also for anyone who is a sensitive soul, but the moment that we really feel held, like the moment any child ever really feels held, they always go out to play. They always run out to play. Like they will cling to their mother's skirts until they feel held. And they need to know that their mother is going to be there, you know, forever, you know, if that's what they need. But the moment they feel safe, they will always run out to play. There's no need to push. And I think that, so that's what the group is also about. It's about creating the level of connection that feels so safe that we can go, okay, I feel like I could go out and try something new now, you know? I know it's just going to be one thing and I'm going to run back to you guys and it might freak me out like nothing else. And maybe I'll take one of you with me, you know, like a buddy or something, you know, and I'll facilitate something little or start a website or something, or make a post about what I want to do. And I know it might feel hard, it might feel excruciating, but my people are here and they're holding me and they're congratulating all the little steps. And I think that's what's hard for introverts, because we live in the inner world and it's the outer world that's celebrated. And so we often don't congratulate ourselves for the inner steps, and that's what made such a huge difference to me with my current husband. Is like, you know, like we would go to parties together and he would be seeing the journey of my you know, social anxiety, and he would be celebrating. He'd be like, darling, like I saw you connect with those people so much, you know, and it's celebrating those little things, which really, I hope you don't mind me swearing sometimes, which really fucking count, you know, like they're not small things, they're big, amazing milestones in birthing our beautiful blueprint into this world. And they are every bit as important for the journey of bringing beauty into this world, as are the external steps. And when we acknowledge them, then we find the power to germinate the seed and start to birth as, as ourselves. Yeah.
Wow, that's so incredibly moving, hearing how your husband would acknowledge those steps that for you were really big, and just that acknowledgement and celebration, and and I loved what you talked about with your group birthing your passion for introverts. Having this group of people that you can go back to and say, I did this. I did this thing.
And it was like the smallest thing on the Richter scale. It's like not the kind of thing you can necessarily, post on Facebook as I did this, And I remember one for me was like when I facilitated my first women's group, and I was so it was at a women's refuge, and I was so petrified of it that I actually, my husband offered to drive me there. And it was so good because having that level of nurture. And he was like, I'll stay in the car. Why are you going to do it?
Wow.
And it's just so beautiful because, sometimes every man and his dog has done the thing that you're about to do. And so what can make the pain of anxiety even worse is that not only am I anxious as anything about this thing, but everyone's already done it. So even if I succeed at it, it doesn't even count as a milestone in the wider world. But it is a milestone. It is such a milestone. Yeah. And all of the people who birthed themselves into incredible people, they listened to the inner milestones. They didn't listen to the rest of the world. It's like the Martin Luther Kings, the people who found their power did so because they listened to the inner milestones. Yeah. The inner compass, and that's why they could speak from the heart without regard, without needing to meet all of their heady rebuttals. That's why they could speak from the heart and believe, because they became empowered by listening to the inner milestones. And so I want to create little embryonic kind of breeding grounds where the gentle the gems forged by the gentle souls can begin to speak in the marketplace again, Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Tania. Exquisite, important work. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to talk to you and hear what you're creating.
It's so lovely to have somebody really deeply just ask and